Mephisto. I'll be happy with 6. It's Valley Club. War is getting a massive upgrade. How will this change impact your total screen time? The Shadow King trials were changed but then reverted. Is this a good or a bad sign for the future of this game? And should you spend your gold now for Fisto or hoard it with level cap 105 right around the corner? Decisions, and we're discussing all of these things and more in this edition of your Marvel Strike Force Weekly News Update. Joining me this week from the land of polar bears and poutine is my brother DorkyDad. And if you're ready for all of these topics and more, then brother Dorky, let them know what to do.
Let's go plow my driveway.
Oh yeah, we're coming in hot, Dorky, and hopefully we can get someone to plow your driveway. I hope you're having an excellent day. Welcome back to the ValleyFlyin channel. I'm ValleyFlyin, this is DorkyDad, and this is your Marvel Strike Force Weekly News Update. We do this every single week, keeping you up to date on everything that has happened and is upcoming in Marvel Strike Force. And if you get some value from this video, leave it a like, hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell so you know as soon as a brand new Marvel Strike Force video goes up. But DorkyDad, how have you been? It has been a while. We've had Thanksgiving in America. I don't know if you guys had a break there. You guys had your stuff. How have you been, though? It's been a while since I talked to you. And how are you enjoying all the bugs and scripts in Marvel Strike Force?
Generally, I've been great. Because while you guys are celebrating fake Thanksgiving, I get to celebrate real Black Friday, which has been phenomenal. And I got new lights, new camera. It's been really good.
Cyber Monday, yeah. There's still going on the sponsor INTOTHEAM if you guys want some cool stuff. But how's it been for Marvel Strike Force for you? I know you use. I don't know. Do you guys eat turkey on the American Thanksgiving or just the Canadian one?
Nah, my wife made so much turkey. We still have turkey leftovers from Canadian Thanksgiving.
Nice. All right,
yeah.
Let's shift over to Marvel Strike Force, though.
Yes, let's do it.
How have you been enjoying all these bugs, these debacles, these changes, and the not changes, and everything else going on?
One bug was fun when we figured out the Knull Emma dies, breaks the damage cap bug. That was fun to lean into and do with people. Other than that, though, it's been kind of very bland, but I think some cool stuff might happen in the future based on some of the things they try to do, but they try to do it the most horrible way possible.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. You're talking about this. The changes to the Shadow King event. I was looking forward to this. This looked fun. All these scourges reminded me of the Morgan Le Fay one, which was super challenging. And I hated doing it, but when it was done, I was like, that was cool. I'm done with it.
Yeah.
That was hard. Took a lot of resets, and I don't know. I had that sense of pride and accomplishment with that. What did you think of these changes when you saw this? Now, we'll talk about the timing of it because I think that was the most horrible part of it. But I think this was a good attempt. What did you think of all these changes and some more scourges that actually would hurt your players, hurt your team, and help the enemy team?
Yeah. So right away, I saw this. I was like, oh, this is going to definitely add a next level to how we have to approach these nodes. Maybe I can't just use my ultimate willy-nilly, give them energy, especially like Odin in that final wave. I can't just special whatever I want because now I'm ability blocked. So this would have definitely made the nodes a lot more interesting. Right now, it's literally just, do you have the right tagged characters at the right star levels? You have Old Man Logan. Okay, go do the highest difficult. Put all the packs on and away you go. So mechanically, I would have liked this in game, but like you said, there's a huge timing component to this. Yeah.
So yeah, the timing of this. So this was announced yesterday that these changes would go live, and then we got this announcement because the community's feedback was so harsh. So hot. They didn't like this because the timing was bad because there were people that already invested in characters for this scourge. There were players that were done with the run. Like, I spent so much time on these runs resetting them, and wait, I got to do this again with scourges. So the timing of this was bad. So they reverted these changes, which I think at this point was a good thing. I wish they would have announced these scourges before the trials were launched. I think it would have been a fun thing, but what they said yesterday, we originally planned to make some changes to the Shadow King trial packs to make it more challenging and avoid the leaderboard being too congested. And I think that was two good things that they wanted to do. Make it more challenging, which is something that I would have liked. And then, have some separation at leaderboard because not everybody's going to equip every single pack because some of them are pretty hard. But what they said, we've heard your feedback. We're reverting the plan changes. Shadow King trials will end at the original time of Monday, December 9th. So it's not extended even more. The payout for the leaderboard will move to December 11th to give us time to evaluate the number of players who successfully completed a max difficulty full pack run. There was some discussion in the community what this meant. I know some people were interpreting this as, oh, does everybody that did a max difficulty all packs get a 6-star, or will it be, in line with the leaderboard? What do you think this means?
Oh, they've been vague for a reason here. They're giving them there's some room to do whatever they want to do based on how they perceive the situation. I could definitely see a world where they do give everybody a 6-star Shadow King who has done max packs with the max difficulty. I could also see a world where they just say, yeah, you know what, we didn't commit to it, we don't have to do it. But it's going to depend on, I don't know, the mood of their studios that day, I suppose.
Now, yeah, so I guess a lot of the big thing is people have question marks about what is going to happen to these ties, because at the top, there's not too many ties. Or there's one right here that I see, 6 and 7 is tied. There's a lot of other ties in the place of the leaderboard. If we go to where I'm at, there's a lot of people around the same score as me. What do you think is going to happen to these ties now that there's not going to be any separation of the leaderboard? Do you think they're going to just, like, right now, I'm at 2209. Probably the top person at 2209 with that same score. It's 1.652 million, and it goes down from there. So do you think everybody at that rank will have the same, rank as me, 2209, and it'll be separated like that? Or each actual rank is going to be where you get the payout for these leaderboards?
Well, they've done it in the past where if there's ties that branch across breakpoints for the ranked rewards, they've done it in the past where they do give the people that tied but have the same score as, say, someone who scored in the top 500, they'll give them the top 500 rewards, as opposed to like, okay, well, you know what I mean?
They've also done it in the past where they've done nothing, though.
Yes.
Your actual rank, no matter where the tie is, or some people that got the same rank, same score, did not get the leaderboard rewards, these ranking rewards, and some people did. Yeah. So it could be either way. What mood do you feel they're going to be in next week when they start looking at these?
I think at the end of the day, they are going to make sure that the people who spend money in the game are not going to walk away from this trial saying, I will never spend money on Marvel Strike Force again, which unfortunately they kind of did to a lot of people with their announcements and the flip-flopping. But I think, like, if there is ties from like the top 5,000 to 6,000, and those are players who all have, they buy character offers, they have Illuminati 7 stars, they have Annihilators 7 stars, they're doing max packs difficulty, I can see Scopely being like, okay, no, give them the 6-star and let's just get this over with.
Yeah, I hope it's like that. They're like, all right, we tried to make this change, people didn't like it, all right, let's just screw it, this is a wash, let's just go and give everybody the rewards. Yeah. Now, one of the things I was really looking for is this run. Now, as a content creator, these easy packs, I assume you did the same thing. Difficulty 15, all packs, day 1.
Yeah.
And as a content creator, this is great because you could put out a video, but as a player, that was not fun. I didn't like that. It was done on day 1, and now I have to wait, 2 more weeks to get these rewards. As a player, as a content creator, I think it's better to have these easy types of, but as a player, would you have liked these, or would you have liked it just to be done? I did my 1 run, I'm done, I don't have to do this again. What would be more appealing to you as a player?
I'd prefer this more difficult options. I'd prefer 2 times as many difficult options. Like we saw Morgan Le Fay, there's so many more scourges that they could just plop in here and we get a fun with it. I would much prefer to have that, because this type of event, this sort of PvE event, is where you get to really get creative. I need to do a burn attack so that, Morgan Le Fay, I need to burn attack so Captain Sam uses his ultimate, and then I can go in. I don't have to worry about having to control him with the special because I don't have ability. It's the kind of thing that really fuels that creativity.
It's a puzzle that you have to solve. I love that.
Yeah. So like, I would really want that. But on day 1, we okay, I don't remember this. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't think we were ever given the envoys the packed information before the event went live. We saw it in DATAMINES. As soon as I read the DATAMINES, I sent them a message. I was like, guys, if these DATAMINES are correct, this is bad and this is going to be crazy ties. So the fact that this wasn't, even thought about or put into action until 60% of the event's time has elapsed. It was crazy. This sort of creativity for PvE content needs to happen right away, not retroactively.
Well, I mean, it's not just when the DATAMINES came out, DorkyDad. We've been talking about this since the Nova trials. We've been talking about this since Black Cat, Green Goblin, where all the packs seem to benefit players, not necessarily benefit the enemies, which makes it a little too easy. I think, is that a reaction for the Morgan Le Fay Scourges, which were probably a little too hard? No one was able to do the max difficulty, I think, on the first run. And the Scourges were hard. I like that you have the option to equip these or not, but was that too much of an adjustment after the Morgan Le Fay packs? Because all of them seemed a lot easier after that first Scourge.
Yeah, I would, if that's the reasoning, then they're dumb. Because I would argue, get 100 players who are here for the Morgan Le Fay event and ask them how they enjoyed that event now. And I'd predict at least 80% of them would say the Morgan Le Fay event was way better than these other ones. They just would. We had creators like Purple Sticky left the game because the Morgan Le Fay event led to player creativity, player tryhardness, like willingness to put in the work and get these like really fun outcomes. And everyone, when I talk to my chat on Twitch or on YouTube, 9 times out of 10, it's, oh, I really enjoyed the Old Horseman packs. Why don't we have more of those packs? Why is it always like this? I think it's a stupid, flawed idea that players want dumb PvE content, that players want to bang their head against the wall to take one less turn on one node, and that's how we compete for leaderboards. I just don't buy that. I don't think that's founded in reality. Maybe Scopely has picked the worst, or sorry, not the worst, the most negative players, and there's like an echo chamber there telling them that. Battleworld, legendary events, hell, Clint Tower, Sword Satellite, a lot of the PvE content is just brain dead, unfortunately. And I think going back to when it was more fun, more creative is definitely something they should lean into. Which I take this as a sign that is something that they might be trying to get back to.
Yeah, I think I took this as a positive as well. Obviously, like we said, the timing is horrible. Yeah. But this is an attempt to make it a little better, an attempt to give us our difficulty back. And, not everybody wants this difficulty, and that's fine. You don't have to equip all these Scourges if you don't want it super difficult. Right. Just get the Shadow King unlock and, start to build them from there. But for players that want that harder content, this would have been good. And I see this as a positive sign, and I hope they don't make these bonehead changes in the middle of an event anymore. Yeah. I hope they improve their timing and take some feedback from the envoys, from the players' voice that have been wanting this kind of stuff for a while. They just need to listen to the right people more, and not have more of a plan and not just be so reactionary is what I feel. I feel they're reacting to every single piece of feedback instead of like, all right, this is a valid point of feedback. This one, all right, I feel that you have this, but maybe the majority of the community doesn't feel this way. I think they need to just watch that a little more. And that kind of leads into the next topic, the game mode that everybody was looking forward to, Battleworld. Yeah. What are your thoughts on Battleworld? We've had this for about a month now. Has this been as fun as you wanted it to be?
Oh my God, it's just a chore, man. It's like it's like every day I wake up and I empty the dishwasher and I make my kids lunch and I make my kids his breakfast and I change the diapers and then I do my Battleworld. And it's literally on the same level as just that brainless day activity that I do every single day. It's so mind-numbing. This wasn't a labor of love. This was a labor of, okay, we want to put something else in the game that people can, play. I guess play. I'm using that word very, very liberally for them here. But I dislike the mode very much. But I see that there is a lot of promise behind the structure of the game, with the exception of Spec Ops.
I think they could even tweak Spec Ops and make that fun. If you take the model of Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, Spec Ops, you actually get some bonuses for doing that. If we get some bonuses maybe on the Knull boss fight or some of these other fights, make it a little easier, actually get some bonuses for placing our characters to Spec Ops, sacrificing not using our ideal teams, using a less than ideal team
Yep.
Rather than just getting points, give us some bonuses to make the Knull boss fight easier, or some of these other fights or Herald missions easier, something like that. But yeah, the way it's structured right now is not fun.
Yeah, let me give you one right now. If you reach, let's just do a really bad number. Let's say if you do 100% of your Spec Ops all 5 days, Knull can't gain barrier. Whoa, that's awesome.
Oh, hey, a different effect. I love that.
If you do 75% of your Spec Ops, Knull no longer stops assisting. Oh, let's go. Odin just got buffed for Knull fight. Like, there's so much potential that is just, it's just turning the knob, tapping into that creativity just a little bit. I've been saying this, and I'm going to keep saying this. Scopely, if you want somebody who can actually give you some gameplay creativity, you can hire me. I'll tell you everything you need to do that's going to make this shit more interesting. Oh my, sorry, I didn't mean to swear.
That's okay.
Very passionate about
we get one per YouTube video, so I'm not even going to take that one out, Dorky. And I apologize to all the minor kids watching, because I'm passionate about this as well. Battleworld. I don't like this, but I see potential here. I see that they can make some tweaks here and make this a fun game mode. I mean, what would you do to make this fun? I mean, that was just one thing off the top of your head, how to make Spec Ops a little more interesting. I mean, less time, less days, every other week. What other suggestions have you heard that really stuck in your head to make this a more fun game mode, Dorky?
Well, yeah, so Spec Ops is like war defense, right? So instead of having to go in there every single day, set it once, it saves. You don't have to do it again unless you go in and change it manually. Don't have people have to go in there every single day or let people set it up before the day kind of thing. So anyway, so there's no confusion with Alliance Captains. That's just Spec Ops. As far as the gameplay nodes go, get rid of at least one node, get rid of at least one day. And then I would have, other games do this. Marvel Strike Force may not have this technology, but build this technology. If you fully clear a node 10 times on a given difficulty with a given team, if that team is available in your roster at the moment when you're doing the node, you can sim that node and then it's done, right? Because this is effectively raids right now.
It is raids.
Yeah. Alternatively,
without the sim button.
Yeah, exactly. Alternatively, you want your Astral node because you want to sell them. It's basically a raid team. Go ahead and do that. Have just one other node. Have it be an endless node. Have gameplay mechanics like we saw in Hunger and Thirst happen. You could put some tags on it for sure. Hey, you can only use city characters here. You can only use Spider-Verse characters here, whatever the case may be. Have Spec Ops tax those characters. And instead of beating a node, you don't have to beat everything all the time. You push as many waves as you can. You get a given score for getting certain length in the node, and just do it that way. Like, this doesn't have to just be raids. Right now, this is just raids with war defense in its worst form ever, in my opinion.
How would you feel about this? Now, this would add to a screen time, but the raids, they're fun in the beginning, right? The first maybe week or so, at least the first couple of days, it's fun because it's something new. What if they had like RNG enemies, so enemies that would pop up, spawn different times, different power levels, different enemies. So every day is a different battle. It would add to screen time, but at least it would be a fresh experience every single time. Would you be opposed to that, even though it does add screen time? You have to play it manually every single day.
No, I wouldn't. And I mean, they could do it seasonally, right? We have a month-long season. Okay, guys, this season, the group of enemies that are going to be getting pulled from, they're going to be Annihilators. They're going to be Orcus. Okay, the next season, guys, they're going to be Night Stalkers. They're going to be Spider Society, whatever the case be. And you could pull from that or have the different zones pull from different pools of characters. And for the love of God, please don't have us use our Spider Society characters against Wave 1 Avengers. It's never going to be interesting or fun, ever.
I mean, the waves of the bosses, what? Swarms, shield operatives. I mean, what are they? Put their recent characters in there, make me challenge and stuff. Obviously make some easier difficulties for people that just want to play casually, but, make a hard difficulty for players that want a freaking challenge. I think in newer players, mid-game players, they have that challenge because they don't have that fully developed roster. But as you get that bigger roster, where is the challenge? Crucible, for me, I don't care about war, but war players have war and arena, and that's about it. Everything else is just kind of auto, even this. So, there's so many ways they could improve this. This is a failed game mode, but this should not be scrapped. There's so much potential here. They could make some tweaks. Some of the suggestions we made, there's a lot of other suggestions that are out there that are just as good or even better than what we said here. Let me know your thoughts on what you think they can do to improve this game mode, because in its current state, it is not good, especially with all these bugs, Dorky. So what the most recent communication they had, given this current states about the integrity of Battleworld Season leaderboard, we're gonna change. All alliances that qualified for Battleworld Season 1 will receive the current rank 1 reward. So everybody got a 3 diamond Emma Frost this week. You guys aware of the issues surrounding Knull boss, damage being made, unwrapped, working diligently to fix this issue as quickly as possible. But we had kind of the same announcement last week, Dorky. There's a bug that allowed Astral Team to deal 1 billion damage on Knull. Now, last week, there was only 2 instances, and his damage, none of them were in top 10 alliances scored, but they didn't do anything to fix it. They said, we'll continue to monitor this issue over the coming weeks and the impact it might have on the leaderboard and fix the issue as quickly as possible. Well, quickly as possible, a week was not as quickly, there was not enough time for them. What is going on with this? Will the Knull bug be fixed this week? There's no leaderboard for this week, so it doesn't even matter. But will we see billion damage on Knull this week, or do you think it's been fixed?
No, I think we probably will see 1 billion damage on Knull. I don't think the week will be enough for them to do it, but they're hedging their bets, right? I think they're trying to get it fixed by then, and it's going to be a test for them if it's done this weekend. And if not, then they have, another week to get it done in time. There was more bugs than that, though. Like Emma Frost's new passive, where she increases the damage cap Knull takes by 50% if she's with 4 Astral. That also wasn't working in the past Knull fight. So they also had to fix that. Like there's a lot that was going on here that needed to be fixed.
Well, I mean, it's understandable. They only delayed Battleworld by like 6 months, 8 months. Yeah. So, if they had more time to delay it, they could have been rid of the bugs. But they only delayed it a few months, Dorky. So, I give them a little pass there.
True. No, I mean, look, we got to be patient with these guys. We haven't been very patient with them. It's only been about 6 years of issues.
All right, so I gotta get an important PSA. Because I saw that there's a bug that were rewarding everybody the diamonds, I didn't even do my Knull attacks. I got busy. It was Black Friday weekend, and I got 0 Knull shards this week. So important tip, guys. Make sure that if there's some bugs going on, at least get 1 hit on Knull that you could get your Knull shards. I got no rewards this week on that last fight. So don't do what I did. Yeah, don't do that.
Don't do that. Yeah, don't do that.
All right, another thing, Skrull Diamond Heist. This is a great thing for new players, but it's kind of screwed a lot of older players. A lot of it is because, it's good to give out stuff for players. The red stars for the characters is always good, but the cost of the red stars, lots of dark promo credits. Now, obviously, if you bought these very, very early, you got a benefit. You've spent that benefit, and to have that benefit early is the cost of the dark promos. However, the way it stands right now, and they still haven't fixed this yet, if you had a duplicate dark promo character, or a duplicate red star and a dark promo character, get Elite 4s. Worth nothing right now, and that sucked, but they said that they're going to be fixing this. Hopefully we get a change for what the duplicate dark promos is, but they haven't announced anything like that. They said there's a calendar awarding all players 5,000 dark promo credits. I don't see that calendar. What do you think they're going to do with these duplicate red stars for dark promo characters, Dorky?
I don't think it'll ever change. I think it's baked into the cake now. I think going forward, though, they'll be smarter with how they do this sort of gift that they would do. I'm not opposed to this sort of gift, by the way. I know a lot of people.
The gifts is good. The gifts is good.
Yeah,
the gifts is good.
And it's a great catch-up mechanic because at the end of the day, 21,000 DPCs for any sort of new player coming up, and that's just impossible to get while keeping up with, say, the old man Logan's or Mephisto will be in there soon, right? Odin's going to be in there soon. Like Skrull will be on the back burner, but I don't know if you guys know this, Skrull is kind of an integral part in the Orcus difficulty 3 bio section. So to give that to players is actually super helpful to them. Now, where it goes wrong, I believe, is in the 2 weeks prior to the event, they'll do a refund. That should be, you know what they should do? They should look at the battle pass. How many dark promos does the paid pass give out? And then divide 21 by that. And like, that's how they should dole out the dark promos. I think they should probably give a little bit more than 5,000, though 5,000 is a good start. But when they're doing the gift itself, what it should be is they should give you the option, you should get enough fragments of some sort of orb, and there'll be 2 different orb options. One orb gives you Skrull, gives you the red stars for Skrull. Here you go. The other orb gives you just 5,000 flat or 7,500 flat DPCs. So you get to pick everyone gets a reward. Nobody's getting elite 4s. And I think that's just a much better, fairer way to do it. I've seen a lot of arguments against it, like, well, you just shouldn't give Skrull out, and I just don't agree with it. I think that in this game where characters quickly get left behind the meta, catch-up mechanics like this that are huge time savers is actually a really healthy thing for the game. And I think they probably should have started it with a character like Red Hull before they did Skrull to gauge how people would feel to mitigate this sort of effect. But
well, they did this 2 times previously. They did this with Ultron about 2 years ago. People were upset about that. They did it with the Battle Pass with Zombie Iron Man. People were upset about that.
Yeah.
The good news is Skrull, the most expensive dark promo character without changing the conversion ratio. And I do like your suggestion. If they're set on leaving this at Elite Fours as a conversion ratio for dark promo characters, then I like your solution better. Why not just do something simple? Change the conversion ratio, make the conversion after you get a duplicate, convert it back to dark promo credits. Why not something so simple like that, Dorky? What possible reason in your head could be the reason that Scopely's holding back on giving us dark promos as the conversion for duplicates?
Probably the same reason that we can't have a lot of nice things in the game. And it's because it's all baked into that goddamn spaghetti code. Some goddamn baker made this whole game out of spaghetti instead of some nice flat bread where we could take a slice out and put some goddamn meat in there. Come on, man. Fix the code.
All right, yeah, there's a lot of things that need to be fixed in this game, but yeah, they can start with something like that. All right, but yeah, I don't have my dark promos here. When do you think we're going to get our dark promos, Dorky?
Oh, they'll probably slap a Merry Christmas on it and give it to you then, I suppose. They said it was like a 30-day count. They should just drop it in our account. Yeah,
they should just give it. Just screw the calendar and just give it, because this calendar got screwed up this morning. Yeah. This was this calendar. We were about 6 or 7 days in. Now it's back to day 1. And I guess if they're going to just give us all the rewards again, that's not necessarily a bad thing. What do you think is going to happen with this? Do you think they're going to stop it after a certain days, or do we just reset it and we're getting more free stuff?
The smart thing to do will just be leave it. If it affected everyone the same, just leave it. Let everyone collect the rewards, go that way.
Oh, so what do you think Scopely is? Yeah, what do you think Scopely will do?
So what Scopely will do instead is they'll try and put it back to where it was for everybody without thinking about like, oh, people from different time zones would have collected different words at a different time, so this is going to mess everything up. So just when things like this happen, Scopely, take a breath. Leave it. Think this through. Go internally to ask for feedback. Have a coffee, and then make a decision, okay? Because we need to do it like that.
They're reacting really fast now. I remember back a couple of years ago, there was no reaction, no communication. Is it better now with this quick reaction, like, oh, we pivoted a little too hard, we gotta pivot back this way, oh, it's too, and it keeps shifting directions? Or do you like it back a few years ago when nothing was done, no communication was given, and we kind of had to figure stuff out on our own?
So I would like to believe there's a middle ground. So it used to be, it was Grandpa behind the wheel and he was going 20 miles under the speed limit. Now there's a toddler behind the wheel going like, ah! We need an adult behind the wheel just to be like, oh, I missed my turn. I'll wait till the next stop sign and turn around. You know what I mean? Like, there's got to be a middle ground for this.
There should be. Yeah. There's not right now. There's just reaction too fast. Hopefully this latest debacle with the dark promos and the Shadow King thing is trying to do something nice for the community, getting pushback of it. Hopefully that lets them like take a breath. Is this really the course you want to correct to, or are there other things that are other problems that could arise by shifting too easily? Yeah, I think adult behind the wheel is exactly what they need. Now, there's a lot of gold spending going on right now, Dorky, and that's because it's a gold spending event. However, January is when we got the level cap in 2022. We got the level cap announced in 2023 for in January as well. Earlier this year was announced. So January 2025 is probably when level cap 105 is coming. What have you been doing with your gold spending? Have you been hoarding your gold, or have you been spending it to try to get this event and get a lot of snow globes in the snow globe store? What have you been doing for this 5 golden rings event?
Okay, I got 2 accounts. Let me talk about the mid-game account right now while I still have it.
Okay.
I've been buying 1 snow globe, input from the store for 3 million gold daily. I've been getting Astro Force.
One daily or one every reset? 3 million a day. Okay.
3 million a day, yeah.
Okay.
So I'm getting 50,000 snow globes. I'm buying Astro Force with it so I can get Shadow King additional red stars. I'm buying Awakened Ability materials. And whenever I reach the diamond orb, I look at it really hard, decide that's a terrible idea, and I back away. And then I check my web milestone, see if I have it done. That's the responsible thing to do. Make sure you're hitting your inputs, make sure you're getting the 5 rings, go from there, right?
All right, what's the crazy thing to do, Dorky? I don't want to be responsible. I'm playing a game. It's a game. Okay. What's a crazy thing to do?
On the big boy account, I'm refreshing the store 2 times every single time. Spending 9 million gold per reset because I have the ability to do that.
Holy crap.
I'm stocking up in the Astral Force so I don't have to try hard on the Shadow King event. I'm just going to get enough Astral Force from that store so I don't have to do the efficiency nonsense. I'm not interested in it. Okay. Also, I realized there's an orb that has Man-Thing shards in it today. So I recently switched to a free-to-play. Like, I don't even buy passes anymore, even on my big boy account. Okay. So my Man-Thing was free-to-play, and he was small. So it's in the gold store orbs. And then it's the 4th orb, the heroic gold
this one. Yeah. This one. Let's talk about these shards here, because I pulled a couple of them as well. There's some unfarmable characters here. Man-Thing unfarmable. At the time, Gore was unfarmable when this orb was first released because it was earlier in the week. Now he's totally farmable.
Yeah. But, I spent 250 million gold on this orb.
How many shards did you get?
I got them from 110 out of 130 all the way to 6-star. So I got about 250 shards on them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So about what is that? $1 million
One
per
shard per million gold.
Nice.
And you know what? I maxed out the milestones and I'm happy. Okay, it was gold well spent for a ridiculous person.
All right. Well,
yeah.
Well, I want to be kind of ridiculous. I don't think I have that budget to be that ridiculous, but I do want to do something. All right. What is the best thing to buy in this store for most players? For myself, is this Astral Force, Mighty Snow Globe, but I think this orb is not a good thing. This direct purchase is not a good thing. You shouldn't do any of these direct purchases. Maybe if you have some extra you could do on this. If you're not really chasing those red stars for Shadow King, I think this is the best thing to buy, unless you need some gear for certain levels. What do you think is the best thing to buy for new players, mid-game players, and then end-game players? What are you recommending for high accounts?
Let me do end and mid game first. So Astral Force for sure, and I think what you want to do
is that mid game as well. Astral
mid
Force?
and end game, yeah.
Okay.
I would gauge where you're going to be ending up in the Shadow King trials. See how much awakened Astral Force you're going to be getting from the ranked payout, and then see like, okay, I want to try and get him to 5 red stars. I want to try and get to 6 red stars. See how much gold that's going to cost you. See how much snow globe it's going to cost you, and go from there on that. And that is your primary farming piece, right? And you might have to refresh the store to farm it enough, depending on how it shows up in your store, because you can get 10 for 100,000 snow globes or 1 for 10,000 snow globes. So it kind of depends there, right?
I've seen 10, 2, and 1.
Yes, I think that's
what we could see in the Astral Force.
Yeah, I think that's it.
And it's all the same cost. The gold per Astral Force, it's all the same. It's just you could buy it in larger quantities or smaller quantities.
Exactly. Passive abilities, the awakened abilities, I would definitely get those, especially the Moon Dragon and the Strange One done. This team is not the best war team in the world, but they are good.
Is that just for, this is just for war players, or you're recommending it for everybody? Because I guess even the Ares, you could make an argument, is just for war. So what if you're not into war? Would you buy these awakened abilities at all?
Yeah, I think it's still cheap. Like my mid-game account doesn't care about war. I still do it because I want an auto-win team. And although this is not going to be a top 3 war team, in my opinion, it's still a top 8 war team. We're going to talk about that in a little bit, right? And I could use them on offense every single day, get my auto-win, and I don't have to think about war. So to make the team get like that just by giving a little bit of snow globes here, I think is good. But I disagree with you on the orb, the 250 snow globe orb. I'm going to go to that.
The orb is fine. I was talking about this direct purchases.
That's trash.
Purchases.
Yeah, trash.
The orb is okay. The orb is okay.
Yeah. Do
not do these direct purchases though. That's really bad.
No. I really like this orb. Now, some people, I think they're a little bit short-sighted, and they're looking at the characters in this orb, and they're saying, well, I don't even have any of these characters yet. We have Night Stalkers in there. We have Orcus in there. We have the Annihilators in there. 2 of those teams have recently been made farmable in the Battleworld store, which if you're doing difficulty 5, you're getting a healthy amount of that Battleworld currency. Yeah. Getting diamonds on these characters now will quickly translate into actually benefiting from those diamonds. The Annihilators, they're just fully farmable now, right? Like Gore's in the Blitz store and Gladiator's in that Spotlight orb that everyone has 400 of.
Orcus is temporarily farmable with Battleworld store before they get their permanent location also. So
yeah. So like the characters in this orb are actually fantastic. And if you do pull dupes, you're just kind of adding to your horde of direct promos where you get to be more specific. I actually really like this orb.
Yeah. And like you said, with the dupes, you actually get some silver promotion credits or silver diamond credits, not some weird orb that we're not getting. So no dark promo characters in here, but it's good. Even dupes, you get conversion, and you could buy these in the store when they pop in the store. Some of them not available right away because they want to remain exclusive, but some of them eventually they will be in the store. So the orb is good for certain players. For myself, I think I'm going to spend all on this astral energy just because these silver diamond credits are a little easier to get than the dark diamond credits or these dark promotion credits. So for me, that's what I'm going to do. And I did buy all these awakened abilities. I don't like war, but I like to complete characters. It's for me, it's about completing these characters. And even if I'm not going to use them in war, I want to complete all these characters. So I'm buying all that stuff. What was your luck like in the turkey store? I'm still buying these turkeys because I still haven't pulled any red stars in my fist. Actually,
you can do it now.
I'm going to do it right now. I was saving this. I forgot about it. Let's go. All right, Dorky, I need your luck. Wait, hold on. Dorky, what did you get? Did you get a 6 or 7?
Do you want? I pulled 5-7 red star Mephistos on my big account.
All right. Well, you got a bunch of them already. Give some to me. I want one. I haven't pulled one yet. I've opened a lot. Let's do this. Mephisto. I'll be happy with 6. It's yes, the Dorky luck. I have to buy this again. Oh yeah, Dorky. Thank you for giving me some of your luck. I've opened a lot of these without you, though. First and only when I open it with you, I get a 7 red star. I don't have to buy this stuff. I don't have to buy these turkeys anymore. This is awesome.
Let's go.
Heck yeah, and not just celebrating that. Like you mentioned earlier, we have a celebration because the Annihilators are farmable, baby.
Let's go.
Glider, Spotlight Raid Orb, immediately at 7 red stars, or 7 stars. We have Gorge, the Blitz Store. That is immediate 7 stars right there. Thanos is not done yet. Have you farmed all these characters, and are they complete for you right now?
On my big boy account, yeah, that was the last team I spent on.
Okay.
On my mid game account, Gladiator's done.
Okay.
Gore is. I had a bunch of orbs, the Blitz orbs for him. I think he's like 50 shards from being done. Okay. And I've only been farming Thanos from the Battleworld store every time I see him. He's actually getting pretty close there too. He's like halfway through 6 star.
I took your advice, Dorky. I've been just farming Thanos because I knew December rolled around that Gore Gladiator would be immediately farmable. So
looking good.
I just close to Thanos. I don't have him there yet, but yeah, I've been just going with Thanos, and yeah, these guys got maxed out right as soon as they became farmable.
Looking good, yeah.
All right, so the other thing, we have some temporary farmable characters. They're temporarily in the Battleworld store until they get their permanent locations. Sentinel going to the Spotlight Raid Orb, which means Sentinel will be 7 stars as soon as it goes there. Yep. Nimrod going to the War store. That one takes a little longer. Nimrod is the one that is a little more challenging to get. And Omega Sentinel got a hard node campaign. That one will take a little while as well. Do you like these locations for Nimrod, Omega Sentinel? Sentinel's very, very easy, but Omega Sentinel and Nimrod a little harder. Do you like those locations for them?
I don't mind the Nimrod one because it's like there's only newer characters in the top 3 slots of the War store.
Yeah.
Like they cycle it kind of like they do the Mega Orbs, right? So it'll be not too bad to get Nimrod. But Omega Sentinel and the hard campaign nodes, I don't like that unless it's on one of those gold orb fragments or training orb fragment nodes. So for that reason, I'm farming Omega Sentinel in the mid-game account from the Battleworld store every single time I see her. Because I don't want to be forced to not farm gold or training materials because I need Omega Sentinel down the line.
Now, do you have enough currency from Battleworld to be farming 2 characters every reset or just 1?
Oh, yeah, I got a lot. I think on the one account there, I had 200,000. On the other account...
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. I don't even know.
They cost like 5,000 per. So I'm easily keeping up with it, easily.
Okay. I'm watching what I'm spending right now. But we got some great news that is coming. We got new Crucible rules.
Yeah.
And the Crucible rules are good, but the War rules are really good. We're going to talk about both of them right here. So Cosmic Crucible season is ending, or a new one is beginning on December 13th. So next Friday is when it's going to start the new one. The actual trials are going to start that following Monday, or Sunday, actually, that's 15th. Global rules, a future team on assist gaining safeguard. What are your thoughts on this?
Future team is always the best team, as they say in Marvel Strike Force. My thoughts are kind of scared. What if it's like Illuminati, where they're doing assists on every single turn? Or if it's a particular character that does assists, like you see, like we had Nebula in the past, maybe it'd be in a tank that'll do assists on every turn, right? So now that tank has safeguard all the time. And maybe it's going to depend what that future team does, because obviously there's an assist mechanic in that team. I think what is it? The rumor is an X-Men rework. So maybe possibly.
Like I don't keep up with rumors anymore.
Yeah, but I mean Jubilee, her assist mechanic would be crazy here, right? Because it's not just Jubilee; it's like any of the X-Men. So that would be super interesting and a little bit overpowered. And I think it'll add a flavor to the Crucible, because the rest of the rules, we'll talk about it.
What do you think about the timing of this? Because future team, this is going to come in like a week or so, a little over a week.
Yeah.
We still don't have the full astonishing X-Men in the game yet. The future team's not even announced, which means that the first few weeks of Cosmic Crucible, this global rules joint operation doesn't seem like it's going to be made too impactful if it's just for this future team. Do you think that's going to be a problem?
No, I mean, we're going to go over the rest of the rules. I think the whole season looks very vanilla, which with the holidays, I'm really happy. I don't want to have to rack my brain too hard. All these rooms don't seem to be like brain busting rooms. So it's going to kind of just be like best teams versus best teams, a little bit of interest here, play with the Crucible tag, but the rules themselves, like we don't have the what's up dog room where it's like everyone's an Infinity Watch member now. We don't have raid room where you got to think crazy about that. So I do like that the rooms seem pretty simple. The future team will come in and shake things up. But hopefully by then Christmas will be done. I will have spent more time with my family and less time thinking about what I need to do to fight Odin, Illuminati, Black Knight in a given room.
Yeah, well, Christmas is on the end of the week this year, right? And Crucible's on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So this doesn't affect my family time at all. I like hard content. I like Crucible. I'll be playing this on.
If you face enough of those Black Knight, Odin, Illuminatis, that rage carries with you till the next Crucible week. So now I won't have to have that. I won't have that monkey on my shoulder.
I did pretty good against them. I did pretty good against this Dorky this week. I went 3-0 this week. I smashed those teams.
Nice.
Oh man, I'm feeling good. I had a good Crucible week, and I got my 7 Red Star Mephisto. I'm so happy with.
That's what's up, man.
I was spending so much gold and power cores for that. Anyway, all right, back to these rooms. Rated skirmish characters, 200 more damage when under 50% health. So this is a repeat room. So as they get close to death, they get more damage. Any scariness here? I'm thinking this is like a pretty easy room.
Endgame Thanos. When Endgame Thanos drops to 50%, does his passive. That could really hurt as a raider.
See, memorizing these passives makes it so much easier for you. I didn't think of that until you mentioned that. That makes a lot of sense. All right. Yeah, that's going to be bad. All right. What you wish for, ultimate ability, generate ability energy for each enemy. I would have loved that as a Scourge. What do you think of this as a raid Crucible room?
Yeah, it feels like a whole lot of nothing. Like if I'm getting to use my ultimate on you, I assume I have the turn advantage. This is a turn-based game. Normally, with the exception of like Illuminati, if I have the turn advantage on you, you probably already lost the match, unless I'm doing a crazy punch-up. So not too worried about that one.
When it rains, I believe we've had this one before. Positive effects applied to a character, increase the duration, positive effects, +1 up to a maximum of 3. Negative effects, increase the duration of negative effects on the character by 1 up to a maximum of 3. Infinity Watch here?
Nah, because like a character like Ares comes in and shuts it down. Yeah, like if you use Infinity Watch here, I bring Ares with Tangled Weapon, flip all your stuff and you die immediately. Once again, just like stage 2, this kind of brings to me like, hey, if I get to go first, I'm just gonna put all the more negative effects on you. So I just don't see it as a big.
I think Infinity Watch was used when this was previous, but we didn't have Ares at the time, so this is different. Bio and tech characters, basic gain speed up with the speed up at the end of the turn, bury yourself for 20% of the character's max health. Some kind of barrier team. What are your thoughts on this?
My initial thoughts were Illuminati, because Black Bolt is bio, Hank is, I guess, Mr. Fantastic Bio too? Yeah. And Hank is a tech character. And because of that assist mechanic, they would just kind of keep speed up forever. But like we were talking about, that team kind of is broken apart to be the Odin Apex team. So I'm not sure that'll be applicable here. I don't see any sort of crazy teams that really focus on basics for bio and tech characters. With, like, I guess the exception of like a Super Skrull.
Kahhori has a strong basic.
Is she Mystic?
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't think she's bio or tech.
Yeah.
All right. It looks like we got another spider room in room 5. City characters on dodge, gain defense up, successful hit, gain. Is this Spider Society right here, just stage 5?
Yeah, but it's gonna like, why though? They don't dodge very often. A successful hit, they'll gain defense up. I guess that's something.
Gonna go back to Web Warriors and old team.
Yeah, but you just get static, right? Like, I wish they kind of dropped the city characters part. Just have it be all characters. Why not? If it already feels not super impactful with just on dodge, gain offense up. When you do a successful hit, give defense up. Just get rid of the city tag at least.
You know what? That's a good point. Get rid of the bio and tech characters. Get rid of city characters. Get rid of the hero symbiote character. Make this a little more bland, and I think it increases the creativity. The more bland these rooms are. All right, stage 6, symbiote satisfaction on offense, defense, symbiote characters. This is a new one, voted on by the community. UpDog created this one, and the community voted for this. Symbiote characters, hero symbiote characters count as villains. Hive Mind and Void Knight comes to mind there. When they drop below 50% health, all enemies flip status effects to positive. All allies flip their positive effects to negative.
Yeah, the Warp World effect. I like it. I think that's a good one. What comes to mind there is doing something like Void Knight with Cabal, right? So now Void Knight.
Are you talking on offense or defense?
It would. Well, I guess that'd be on offense, right? And the counter to that is, well, they'll just put a team that counters Cabal. But if they don't, you can use like Void Knight, who's got 25% speed run spawn with their Cabal. He can get a crit now, and since he's a villain, he'll give speed up to Cabal. So and he does extra damage to that page. So there's a couple cool things you can do there. And then the Warp World effect. I think this is probably the most impactful room because of Warp World, which means, this room's probably going to be overloaded on. So you're not going to be able to do anything with symbiotes here anyway.
This will be fun. Whatever, Cabal's going to destroy this room on offense, so whatever counters Cabal will be, or whatever Cabal has trouble with will do well there.
Yeah.
All right. This is what I'm most excited about, Dorky.
Yeah.
Alliance War Chapter 7. With the new season, we're going back to reducing defensive rulings from 10 down to 8. I love that. I hate war, so the less war I have to do, the better. What are your thoughts on this? I know you like war, so is this a mixed bag for you?
I've started to hate war. It's just too much time. Because I play the 2 accounts right now, it's just way too much time in the game. And the Battleworld really kind of showed me that. It's way too much game time. I'm happy to go from 10 to 8, but I do understand why some people will be frustrated. It's quite a bit, right? Because it's basically axing your 4 bottom war teams. Whatever investment you've been putting into, what are kind of the worst war teams right now? Maybe like Weapon X, maybe New Avengers, whatever the case may be. Like, they're just gone now. You're just not going to use them on offense or on defense. So I understand some frustration there, but I think overall it's a good change. Change is not always bad. Shaking things up, feeling things out, I think is cool. We'll see how the community takes this in, and we'll go from there, I guess.
Change usually feels bad initially, but like what you said, it's usually not always bad. Sometimes it's good, but it usually feels bad in the beginning. So hopefully this is a good positive effect of this, because I am looking forward to this. Less screen time in war, the better. If they could reduce war to maybe 1 or 2 wars per week, I would love that even more. I don't think they're going to do that because they still want to sell the Astral, the Absolute A-Force, things like that. Global rules. We got 3 teams impacted, and it looks like it's going to be Orcus getting a lot of benefits from a lot of room rules. So the first one, on hit, if target has exposed attacking A-Force allies, gain offense down and bleed. The next one, on turn, attacking Astral allies with immunity, gain offense up. So it looks like they want A-Force and Astral to be offense, and primary stats at defending Orcus allies, and they're looking for Orcus to be on defense. I'm not going to go too far into these rooms, but do these rooms really, you think it benefits Orcus, other teams? What are you thinking as far as big changes that these rules bring for the next season of War?
I don't think too much, because Astral doesn't start with immunity, right? They flip Disrupt into immunity. So I guess like if you use them to attack in Reactor, you can get them to spawn with offense up, which is kind of cool. Otherwise, you'd have to bring them into a team that gives you Disrupt right away. I think it's kind of a weird one for me. I'm not sure. Maybe I just don't know the kits very well of Astral. Admittedly, I don't. I kind of look at them as a raid team. Okay. The A-Force one is a little bit interesting. So attacking A-Force allies will apply offense down and bleed. Now, this I think is going to be huge to help combat the mirror matchup. I think competitive wars, it doesn't matter that A-Force is going to have an offensive. People are going to put them on the defensive side because of how just oppressive that team is, and that team is going to it's going to scare people. It's going to shake things up for sure. So I think it'll help with the mirror matchup, which is good. So people like me and you who aren't super try-hard, we're not trying to get, top 10 alliance in there or top 1 alliance in there anymore. We don't have to worry about the mirror matchup being as painful. Defending Orcus ally stuff, I just don't think it's going to matter, especially since they've removed 2 rooms. We're going to have better offensive teams to take them out, right? We don't have as extensive a counter list anymore. So it's just, we'll be able to allocate better teams to attack them. And Night Stalkers, I'm sure, will still get that done.
Is a hybrid team with Orcus, like maybe with Mephisto or something, the solution for defense?
Maybe, but I think Mephisto's going to end up on offense for absolute A-Force for a lot of people. Because he's kind of the key to punch Miss Marvel in the face so she doesn't do her forever healing without the exhaust stacks on her. So I think that's going to be the case there. Maybe we'll see some like Ares Odin teams, but that's kind of already in the mix with the Alpha Flight team. So yeah, I just don't see it being super impactful what we see here on the competitive people. On the non-competitive people, I think this is just all around good. I think it's great. You mentioned some of the other rooms buffing Orcus even more.
We got a lot of tech stats. Medbay has tech stats.
Yeah.
Armory has tech stats. Hangar has tech bonuses. Barracks has tech bonuses. So we Cargo Bay as well. So
yeah, I would just and there's the regeneration one to tech allies apply bleed. I would also remind people that Ironheart and Wasp are both tech. So that Absolute A-Force team will also be impacted by these rules.
I forgot about them. Yeah. Good point.
So keep that in mind when you're facing them, because they're gonna be nightmares, and they're already in the game. Those 2 tech characters.
Yeah, Absolute A-Force is going to be absolutely insane in War. But what is the value for Kahhori outside of War?
Huge.
Will she have a lot of pairing with Miss Marvel Classic, with Medusa? Will it be Crucible or other game modes as well that she's going to have some benefits?
I think she's going to be an amazing plug and play character on her own. Even without the assisting that being taken away from her, her basic doing 10% overall damage with her 2 attacks, plus doing the expose, plus doing the bleed, or the blind rather, and then her special just hitting everybody for insane amounts of damage and covering them in debuffs. Like, this character is bonkers good. 200% speed bar off rip is crazy. She's not a slow character. Then she's like 122 speed. And then the ultimate hits like a train. Like, this character is really good. They did a good job trying to hype up one of these more like newer, video game adaptation characters.
Now, we got some offers for her in the store, the Daisy Chain offers. The more expensive one, obviously, if you're buying the character, these are pretty good. But for these, we got some orbs here. No guaranteed shards for the cheaper one. $2.99 for some non-guaranteed orbs for her. And it keeps going up. What do you think about these Daisy Chain offers? Because when they first had these, it did include character shards for the cheaper version. Expensive version always had that. But this cheaper version, I think they started with the Astral team. They removed them. What do you think of these offers now for these new characters, especially these Daisy Chain offers?
I think they had it starting with it Night Stalkers? Because I did it for Oath. So yeah, I think it started with Night Stalkers.
I thought they had Oath shards included in this, or am I remembering that wrong?
You mean without? Yes, no, you're right. Without the shards,
the guaranteed shards is what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't hate them. I still think this is the cheapest way to get the unlock, if not so close to the unlock that you could just kind of core 2, 3, hopefully not 4 orbs to top it off. If you're a spender, I did do that a couple of times to make videos on it. I had a lot of fun opening the orbs, but that's because, if you're an adult and you do it responsibly, gambling, as awful as it is to say, can be fun when you get the dopamine.
As long as you're only gambling what you could afford to lose. If you're gambling more than that, it's not good. But if you're always taking what you could lose, then I guess it's fine.
Especially when opening these orbs, expect to lose. Okay.
Yeah.
I like the offer as far as trying to get character, just the base unlock goes. I do like these offers. I think they're more fun at the very least than just straight up buying shards for $70.
I like them a lot better when they had some character shards in there. I think the Man Thing one, I was like, this is pretty good. Had some Man Thing character shards, pretty good, and they stopped it for the next one. This
also the awakened abilities though, right? There was awakened abilities in the Astro ones too. I wish they gave her some sort of awakened ability in her offer. I know there's no awakened abilities for the team, but maybe for like a past character, throw some in there just because. I don't know.
I like that. Some of the older ones, the Captain Britain or something like that.
Yeah.
this orb. They've changed the pity mechanic. They used to have these shards here. Now they've been replaced with blitz credits. They went back to the milestones as the pity mechanic. So opening these Path to Kahhori, the Path to Miss Marvel, and then the Path to Medusa will get you some points for that. And it'll allow you to open the Stirs of the Forest orb, which has Kahhori shards and there are other shards. What do you think of them switching the pity mechanic from the actual orb, getting the orb to milestones now and getting a separate orb for that?
I prefer the pity mechanic we saw for Astro. Personally, okay. I haven't dove deep to it. Yeah, I prefer that much more.
Okay. I think it ends up being I think it ends up being the same. I haven't looked at the numbers either, but I think it ends up being the same. It's just which one feels better for you. And I don't know. I kind of like the milestones. I know these like the Frost Queen orb and this one for Ancient One, the one for Man Thing. I get horrible luck. I get 6s from those. At least with these, I feel I get better luck, even if I guess the chances are better, I don't know, even they're the same. I just feel that even if it's adding up, I like these milestones better. I like making milestone progress. I get more red buttons to get off the screen. That is my enjoyment. I think it ends up being the same though, so it's just personal preference.
Yep.
Now, I do want to do a quick PSA. There are some offers down at the bottom, 10 for 10 offers. This is the one that's going on right now. Not the best stuff, but it's only 10 power cores, and you need training mats. You need some of this other stuff. Maybe not. Maybe not the armor. Well, I got a lot of training mat orbs. I have lots of orbs. So, how many orbs do I have? A lot of them.
I mean, you got a lot of training mat orbs now until the level cap comes and you need 40,000 per level.
I got 301. I don't know if that's a lot or a little, but I got 301 of these training orbs. So,
my guy, when level cap comes, that's not a lot.
All right, I better start going to this arena store and not the 20s. When it's 60s, I'll buy these.
It's the same conversion rate. You need to start buying now. My God, you got 130.
No, these are 60 at 800 or 20 at 800.
No, it's 2400 when it's 60.
Oh, okay. It used to be 800 for 60.
Oh, really? It used to be.
Yeah, it used to be the same cost for 20 and 60. So I guess I just didn't notice the cost. I just noticed 60 or 20, and I just opened that.
Fair enough.
All right. Let me ask you about the next chase, because we're into the age of Professor X right now. We've had Old Man Logan. We've had Odin. We've had Shadow King. Nothing here. So what do you think is next? There's been some speculation on chat this morning. Is the next legendary going to be next? And that fills this spot. And then we get Professor X. Or is it going to be something from Dark Dimension 9? And then Professor X is not Dark Dimension 9 like we all thought, and he's some other release method? Or are they just going to skip this last box? What do you think is going to happen with Professor X and this last character, Dorky?
I think that last box was meant to be filled, but it's not going to be filled anymore. Let me talk about why. They told us last year in the Mephisto blog, Professor X is coming to the game in March of 2025, right?
Okay.
So for them, and they're going on break soon. They have the big holiday break, right? They like to destroy the game, and they leave for 2 months. They come back and they try and fix it. So between now, mid-December, we're having the legendary event right now. No legendary has been announced. To have another Dark Dimension or legendary character within the next 3 months, it's just not going to happen, right? So I think it was meant to happen, but with Battleworld getting pushed back as often as it did, and Shadow King then getting pushed back because they're the Battleworld team, I think something was meant to be there. I'm not sure if it's still going to be there, but it also doesn't make sense for nothing to go there. So maybe, let me make everyone angry. Maybe they'll release a new epic character they can put in there. Right? That's something. That's one thing they could shoehorn in the next 3 months before March comes.
Well, what I originally thought, I thought Professor X would be Dark Dimension 8. And we got Odin. I'm not sure where that happened. So maybe that original blog got totally scrapped. Dark Dimension 9 now will be something else. And then we still enter the age of Professor X, but not in March, maybe sometime down the road.
I'd be fine with that. The Odin Dark Dimension release cadence that they did was so healthy for the game. My account that spends no money, the mid-game account, is on the final section, and I was able to get that much ISO because we pushed Battleworld, because we pushed raids, we pushed those various events, right?
Yeah.
So if they want to do another Dark Dimension that's going to have similar time management or time resource, whatever you want to call that. And for that, I think that's fine. I think Odin Dark Dimension was actually pretty successful. What do you think that would be like? Purple ISO 4 or something?
Ooh, I don't know. I think I like that they switching back and forth. The one requires the new ISO tier, the other requires the next gear tier. So, we're expecting level cap 105 in January, which means the next gear tier 20 should be coming sometime soon after that. So, I don't know. We're probably getting a Dark Dimension. The question is Professor X going to be Dark Dimension, or something else going to replace him in Dark Dimension and him later? Or maybe another legendary character and they just push Dark Dimension back. I don't know what their plan is, because obviously it got changed from their initial announcement of Professor X.
Yeah, it all depends. If they still plan on Professor X coming out in March of 2025, then I don't know what the heck they're going to do there. Otherwise, like you said, if they push it back, then they can do whatever they want.
Yeah, they can do whatever they want. They can leave this box blank if they want.
Yeah, they can fill it with a bunch of emojis just laughing.
that dog emoji saying everything is fine with all the fire.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. Data mines. So we got some not super exciting data mines, but it is some things that's coming up. Blade will be another battle pass coming soon. And a 4 Calling Birds event, which should be the event next week. That is you're gonna get points by spending forceful energy, opening the Goblin Maleficent Sin Orbs, and clearing waves in Battleworld. So mainly spending forceful energy. That is the astonishing A-Force events. Where that energy is. This Goblin Maleficent Orb looks like it's going to be bought, and what they say here, unlock the exclusive green skin, which was purchased, I think, with Craven or Slayer, one of the initial Superior 6 characters. If you bought that character, you have the skin. Earning Dark Diamond credits as well, and Snow Globes. This, I think they sold the previous orb for $10. Is this skin worth it with some Dark Diamond credits and Snow Globes worth $10 to you?
It depends on the Dark Diamond credits and Snow Globes for sure. Okay. For $10, I don't think it would be very much. As far as the skin itself goes, I like that it's a crazy skin, right? Like, I like that it's not just some sort of different color variant. Personally, I just like the aesthetic of Green Goblin Classic better than this, like, demonic Mephisto infected Green Goblin. So there's that. So I don't put much value on the skin. It would come down to the Dark Diamonds and Snow Globes.
I like the skin, and I bought that Superior 6 character, whatever it was. I think it was Craven, but I bought that skin just because I wanted the skin for Green Goblin Classic.
Fair enough.
But that is data mines for next week. And that is the news. Lots of stuff going on this week. What was the best and worst for you, Dorky?
Watching you open up your Mephisto orb. That was fun.
I forgot about that. That was the best for me too. That was the best part of the week. The worst was when I don't know, Shadow King. There was some good and bad with that. I was excited and disappointed, and then I thought of all the other community members that spent stuff. So I got like, all right, that probably was the way to go, and hopefully down the road it gets better. All right, but that is it. Let me know your thoughts on all this. If you did get some value from this video, leave it a like. Make sure you check out Dorky's channel for some awesome content. Any kind of puzzles you want to solve in Marvel Strike Force, he usually solves them first, and then we go to him. So he's like the community puzzle solver for us. Check out the video, and if you want to see what are the best purchases in every store, check out the video up there, and I'll see you guys next time. Have a great rest of your day. Have a great rest of the week. Are you ready for a fist bump?
Can't wait, my man. Last one of the year.
Hulk fist bump, ValleyFlyin, DorkyDad out. Have a great one, guys. It may or may not be the last one of the year.